Okay, this could be my favorite phone launch of 2025. Like, let me explain. I love budget and mid-range phones, and recently we did a poll on YouTube. What smartphone features would you bring back from the dead? And a majority of the people voted for the headphone jack. Now the deal is, this phone not only has a headphone jack, but you get an SD card slot. There's a freaking inbuilt stylus in this phone. This phone doesn't feel from 2025. It's like a phone designed by enthusiasts for the mid-range segment. So the question that has to be asked is the Motorola Edge 60 stylus worth it? Who is it for? And if all is good, what's the catch? First of all, it's good to see that there's no plastic used in the box, and you still get a 68 watt PD charger, Type-C to Type-C cable in the box. Now, this charger is good enough to fast charge your laptop. Rest you have the phone, paperwork, SIM ejector tool. There's no case in the box. Now, before we get to the performance of the phone, there are three interesting, or rather unique things about this phone. First of all, regular mid-range phones are getting curved. This right here is different. It's a flat slab. It's thick at 8.2 mm and it weighs in about 191 grams. And I've seen this interesting trend in smartphones. Flagships bring new trend, suppose curved display, and then after a year or two, all budget mid-range phones will give you a curved display. So this flat display trend that we are seeing is coming straight from flagship phones now. And for a change, I'm loving this trend. First of all, flat displays are easier to hold, and if you have that accidental fall, it's even cheaper to replace. Like for example, let's pick up these two phones of the same price group. I'm not telling you the name of these phones because then the topic will get diverted. Here's the cost of replacing the flat display, and here's the cost of replacing curved display. Rest every other cost is same. So you know, curved display is expensive to replace. Now back to the Edge 60, you get this vegan leather back. It comes with a 6.7 inch 1.5K POLED display. You get Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the front, and it has one of the loudest stereo speakers I have heard in this price. Maybe the size of the phone helps. Size does matter. Now one thing to note is it doesn't support HDR in Netflix or YouTube. Now the good thing is, I thought because of adding a stylus and everything, they might cost cut a little bit, because see, it's not just adding a stylus. You have to add a whole digitizing layer below the screen, which again costs money. Also, you get a headphone jack. I love it. These days I use IEMs, so I love phones with a headphone jack. But even after adding all of these ports, you still get IP68 rating and you get military grade certification. Now a lot of brands have removed the headphone jack, obviously because of TWS, that's the main reason. But the second important reason is, in order to maintain the IP rating, you have to seal the phone from the inside. And with a headphone jack or a stylus slot, that's complicated plus expensive. So good to see that these things are being taken care of in mid-range phones. Now back to the highlight of the phone. If you press from the bottom side, the stylus pops out. Now honestly, when I read Motorola Edge 60 stylus on the box, I thought there would be an extra stylus in the box like those resistive generic ones that you get on Amazon. But this is a proper Samsung Note style stylus, and it's well thought out. Like see, I can put the stylus in any way inside the phone. It doesn't get stuck. In fact, I cannot put the stylus the other way around inside.
Does it go on the headphone jack?
Nice. Hole is too small. And if I just press this button and put it inside, it automatically snaps back up. So you can try various combinations, but the stylus doesn't get stuck inside this. And see, if I use the stylus on some other phone, it's not working because this is not a resistive stylus. So this is a proper capacitive stylus. But now the question is, what do you do with this? Well, three good use cases that I saw. The moment you remove the stylus, a new note screen pops up. You can write notes, scribble, do a bunch of stuff. The latency is pretty good. Now, surprisingly, there's no sound when you write. Number two, when you open the phone, you get a whole menu here for the stylus. So there's this interesting option, sketch to image. Now you can draw anything. Maybe let's draw an aeroplane. Select realistic. And boom, you have some options for a realistic looking aeroplane. Now, while making thumbnails or in videos, we use AI websites to get assets. So if you use Canva on your phone, this is a quicker way to get assets. Now, in case you're wondering, you cannot sketch over a photo, and you do have to create a Motorola account to use sketch to image feature. Number three, this one's fun. You get handwriting calculator, so you can write down all your problems to get exact solution. I mean only math problems, no life solution. Motivational speakers will be relieved. Now Android 15 in Motorola is slightly different than before. So directly on the launcher, you get this news feed, which is not turned on by default. I didn't turn it on. And if you swipe more, there's this journal. And on any screen, if you press the power button twice, you get this AI search. So suppose you see your dying stock portfolio, you can just press it twice to activate Moto AI, take a screenshot and write some good words about Trump's tariff tax for India, and just remember the day. AI will not make things better, but it will make sure you remember it. And you get rest of the Hello UI features like last year, you get Smart Connect, AI generated wallpaper, etc. There are also some pre-installed apps like PhonePe and Blinkit, but I mostly use them, so I didn't uninstall them. Now, before we move on to performance, the third interesting part is the camera. So you get a 50 megapixel main camera from the Edge 60 Fusion. It is the same Litia 700C Sony sensor with OIS. You also get a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, which is also a macro camera. Now, this right here is not a telephoto camera. This is a 3-in-1 ambient light sensor. We'll get to that in just a moment. Now, this sensor is supposed to help the camera be flicker free and have better colors. We'll definitely test this. But the normal photos that we took inside, outdoors, it's that typical Motorola colors, bright, poppy. It has life. Now, for the ultra wide angle camera, in good daylight conditions, the photos are good. Indoors, there's a little bit of noise. Now, the ambient light sensor. Well, I taped the sensor to see if it really helps in colors or flicker freeness. So this is the photo with and without the sensor. And then I also took a video against this LED light indoors. Again, with and without the sensor. I believe the help of the sensor is very subtle. And now you can do 4K 30 FPS on the main camera, and the colors look a bit poppy, it's contrasty. Overall, you can have an idea of the video and mic quality. And you can do 4K 30 FPS on the front selfie camera. Like finally brands now understand that you need 4K on the front selfie camera. Also, the 32 megapixel selfie camera takes good selfies, like the sharpness and color are on point. So overall, for the price of 21 to 22,000, it's not one of the best camera phone, although photos are very good, but it's overall decent for the price. Now finally, on to performance. This comes with Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, 8GB LPDDR4X RAM, 250GB UFS 2.2 storage, and the base variant itself has 250GB storage, so that's good. Now, how good is Snapdragon 7S Gen 2? Well, to understand that, we ran Antutu and it scores just under 6.5 lakh. In fact, we even ran CPU throttling test and there's no overheating as such. The chip is 4 nanometer, it's fine. We also played BGMI for some time. It can run at smooth graphics, 60 FPS. So overall, I feel this is not a performance-heavy gaming phone, but if you want to do casual tasks like switching between multiple apps, social media like Instagram, Twitter. In fact, play BGMI for 1 hour daily. It will handle all of that easily. Rest, you get 5000 mAh battery. It easily lasted a day even on heavy usage. In fact, you get a 68 watt charger that can go 100% in less than half an hour. You also get wireless charging, which is good to see that they didn't cost cut on that. Plus, you get hybrid SIM card slot, so you can use your SD card that is full of old love memories. Move on, please. There's also an optical fingerprint scanner. You get all the important sensor, including the proximity sensor. So overall, here's what I feel. See, most of the brands like Redmi and Realme are trying to premiumize their phones. Basically, try to sell phones that cost 20,000 now at 30,000, which leaves this 20 to 25,000 space empty. And I feel Motorola in this price point is doing really good. Like, they are even experimenting. You get a compact phone like Motorola Edge 50 Neo in this price segment. No other company does this. Now, this one costs 22,999, and with offers, you get it for 21,999. So this is a very good, different option. If you need a phone with a headphone jack, SD card slot, and maybe you also take a lot of notes, so you need stylus. So this combination in any other brand doesn't exist. Or in fact, a phone with a headphone jack and SD card slot, does that exist in mid-range? So for all of that, you can check the Motorola Edge 60 stylus out. On that note, this is signing off. See you in the next video, and pew pew pew.